All right, everybody, welcome to Selling Weekly Lottos, weeks 27 and 28. I'm going to start doing these every 2 weeks now instead of every week. I think that'll be better because now it's been over 6 months. So if you're new to this, let me just give you the explanation of what I'm doing. So basically, I'm selling options in the stock market using my shares and my cash, and the community of option selling call these lottos because they're so far away out of the money and they have such a short time to get there. They're almost like lottery tickets for the buyer, but the buyer still does have a chance to win my shares and my cash, which is why they pay such a high premium. All right, that's basically all I've been doing for the last over 6 months now. All right, let me just put all the disclaimers on the screen for any of the new people, and I really hope you're reading them. All right, so check them out right there. All right, and let's just move on. All right, this week, the winner is me. Okay, this week I made $1,346 using an average of around $77,000 per week. That gives me about a 1.72% yield over 2 weeks. Okay, let's check out the positions one at a time. The first one, boom, take two. This was expiring on December 12th. I sold these for $400 in total, 2 contracts, and I bought them back for $20. All right, on the last day. So let's take a look at the chart. All right, oh yeah. All right, so you can see here, first of all, this is not technical analysis. All the drawings are just based on my options, the parameters of my options to help visualize what exactly is going on. So I'm not predicting the price based on the previous moves. It's all based on the option. So the main thing you want to look at is that yellow trajectory line going down. Okay, this shows me how fast the stock needs to move in order to get to assignment. All right, and you can see this was a pretty weird week for take two. I only got out the last 10 minutes on expiration day just in case I could get the shares, but they didn't get to 240, so I got all the premium pretty much. All right, let's take a look at the next position. Boom, Nvidia. Okay, these ones expired on the 19th, December 19th. I sold those for about $218, bought them back for $44. All right, that's about $150 gain or so, 160. All right, let's take a look at how that looks on the chart. Oh yeah. All right, kind of similar to take two. All right, it was following the line, but it didn't quite get there. I took the profits one day before because at that point it wasn't worth it for me to risk $34,000 to make $40 more in one day, especially since it's been following that line and going below it. All right, so I took my profits and got out. All right, and then the last one, hood. All right, I did these both weeks. So first week, let's check it out. Boom. Okay, 140 calls. Sold those for about $300, 2 of them, and then I bought them back for around $50, and I went immediately to 12.19, and I sold a covered strangle. I sold the 140 calls and the 110 puts. All right, and I sold those for about $550 in total, and I bought those back for about $50 in total. All right, so the gambler lost all the contracts this week. Sorry, buddy. All right, let's take a look at how hood looked on the charts. All right, first week, boom. All right, so you can see this was a good time to sell calls because it was pumped up and it was kept pumping, but then it got stopped literally like the last day, and the December 12th contracts got destroyed, but the December 19th contracts were still high. So I went immediately into the next week, all right, sold the 12.19, the same calls, 140, All right, and the time it took for the 140 calls on the 19th to go from $200 down to $50 was the same amount of time it took for the December 12th contracts to go from $25 to $0. So that's one of the reasons I like to close my options before they expire, so I can go into the next week and potentially make more profit. So that was $300 extra right there by going forward. All right. And one thing you will notice when when Hood kept dipping, I also sold 110 puts because I sold these shares at around 132 a few weeks ago. So I just decided, hey, if I can get a good discount, let me get those shares back. So I sold the 110 put as well for the covered strangle. All right, pretty unusual for me to sell a covered strangle at 2 different times, but I usually sell covered strangles at the same time, but this time I found the opportunity to do it a little different. All right, let's take a look at the benchmarks. All right, Bazam! All right, so you can see I got a brand new sheet. All right, this next 6 months, I'm going to be comparing how I'm doing this 6 months versus last 6 months, and also showing what's going on in the total. All right, so mainly this last couple weeks, I've been making a lot less money because I've been taking a lot less risk. All right, but even though I've been taking less risk, I actually still have a lower yield. So I'm making much less money. All right, but I did add a fun metric right here. All right, house ratio. So this one's going to be really important for me because I want to try to make profits from my profits. So what you can see that the amount that I've been risking the last couple weeks, about half of that is the profits that I've already made in the last 6 months. So as long as this number continues to go up, I'm reducing what's called steamroller risk, where they call it when the steamroller comes and runs you over, destroys you. So I'm actually reducing that risk by using more of my profits to make more profits. All right, but the really thing that's getting me down is this dollars per hour is down to like $16-17 an hour, and I think $30 to $40 is a lot more respectable for a filthy lotto seller. All right, so yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. And just some concluding statements. Even though I'm making less money, I feel that this is right for me because I'm staying cautious. There's still some uncertainty with the new year coming up, and the whole kind of the market was weak in October and November. It's kind of lingering, so I'm just staying cautious. So that's how I'm gonna probably keep playing it until there's some more certainty, and that's pretty much it, guys. So I'll see you 2 weeks. And for the next weekly Lottos, feel free to ask me any questions in the comments. Criticize me all you want, and happy to hear advice or suggestions. Other than that, thanks for watching. Peace.